Hello everyone, this is Derek Smith, Private Investigator with the Intercessors Investigative Group and the Private Investigations and Security Professionals Training Academy. Today I want to talk to you about making a citizen's arrest as a private investigator. So there's a nationwide shortage of police officers and it's getting worse every year. A lot of departments across the country are running short staff. This pretty much means that there are fewer good guys around to stop the bad guys. And officers are often dispatched from call to call, which results in a longer response time and in some cases no response at all. So what does this mean for the individual faced with a crime in progress? Keep listening to this to learn more about making a citizen's arrest, especially as a private investigator. So let's start with when can you or anyone make a citizen's arrest? A lot of people believe that if a crime happened or is happening, they can make a citizen's arrest. While making a citizen's arrest is an option in the United States, each state laws vary, just as with most issues related to process serving and private investigation. It's always best to review your state statutes to be aware of legislation regarding citizen's arrest to ensure that you do not break the law if put in that position. In the event that you unlawfully enact a citizen's arrest, you could be arrested yourself for false imprisonment and or for impersonating a peace officer, among other potential charges. Furthermore, this could lead to lawsuits by the person you're arrested. And for us, it could lead to us losing our private investigation license and our livelihood. Now, those states vary. Most states have some provision allowing a citizen's arrest in certain circumstances. For example, in California, private citizens may arrest another individual who commits a public offense in that citizen's presence. You can also make an arrest if that individual has committed a felony, regardless of whether it was committed in your presence. Conversely, in states like Texas, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nebraska, Ohio, South Carolina, and Wyoming, a citizen's arrest may only occur if the offense is classified as a felony or an offense against the public peace. Now, this list I just gave you is not meant to be exhaustive, as some states' laws may be unclear and up for interpretation. What are some considerations before you make a citizen's arrest? Well, before you make a citizen's arrest, you have to determine whether or not there's probable cause as well as reasonable suspicion that a crime was committed. Now, keep in mind, if no crime was committed, you should not attempt an arrest of an individual. Now, reasonable suspicion applies the logic that you, as the arresting citizen, have specific facts and rational inferences that the specific individual committed a crime. If you want to learn more about reasonable suspicion, you can look at two legal opinions published on the matter. One is Terry versus Ohio from 1968, and the other was Ibarra versus Illinois. And Ibarra is spelled Ybarra, and that's from 1979. Now, probable cause, though similar to reasonable suspicion, is a bit different. Probable cause indicates that there must be facts and circumstances that will lead a reasonable person who is completely objective of the situation to believe that the individual subject of the citizen's arrest has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime. Furthermore, it's important for you to know your ability to restrain yourself, as you must only use reasonable force to make that arrest. If you exhibit excessive force and end up physically harming that individual, you may find yourself in hot water with the law. And with the courts, as the arrested individual could also sue you, which they probably will anyway. Let's look at how to make a citizen's arrest. If you're confident that you are within the scope of the law and you are faced with a situation in which you deem it prudent to make a citizen's arrest, this is how you should go about doing it. First, if possible, contact emergency services, which is 911 first, before attempting to detain an individual. If you are unable to contact emergency services prior to making a citizen's arrest, it is very important, no, it's imperative that you contact them immediately after placing the citizen under arrest. Number two, announce what capacity you're arresting the individual in. Make it known that you are a citizen. This must be clear, especially if you're a private investigator, so as not to be mistaken for a police officer and later charged with impersonating a police officer. Third, announce what you are doing and why. For example, I'm placing you under citizen's arrest until the police can arrive due to whatever crime they committed and that you witnessed. Last, using reasonable force, place the citizen under arrest and contact police if you have not done so already. Now, how do you make a citizen's arrest as a private investigator? As many of you are probably aware, Private investigators are not peace officers. I know some of you think you are or want to be, but you're not. And as such, you should follow the guidelines established for private citizens. Even if your state requires licensure and professional training, and even if you carry a badge and a weapon, you're not a police officer. In fact, for those of you carrying such items, there's a greater risk that you may end up being charged with impersonation of a police officer. It is imperative that if you find yourself in a situation in which you intend to make a citizen's arrest, that you make it clear that you are not a police officer, and it would be wise to have emergency services on the phone as the situation unfolds. It's always helpful to have a recording of the event, so having such technology on your person, like your body cam, a cell phone recording, or something like that, may protect you from harm in the future. Next, be wary of making a citizen's arrest. First of all, I want to say, if I was you, I wouldn't do it. I spent 18 years as a federal agent, and I'm a reserve officer with the police department right now, and I don't even want to make a citizen's arrest. Ultimately, the laws are not exactly black and white, and there's inherent danger in arresting someone as a private citizen. Not only should you be concerned for your safety at the time of the arrest, but there's the potential for consequences legally as well as a physical danger. An individual arrested may choose to sue you if you arrest them, especially if that person is subsequently not penalized by the legal system. Additionally, as I mentioned previously, there's a possibility that you could be charged with false imprisonment, impersonation of a peace officer, and more, especially if things get physical while you're detaining that individual. Since there's such a risk, it's important for you to thoroughly weigh the pros and cons before choosing to make a citizen's arrest. Our police departments, no matter how understaffed they may be, are there for a reason, so use them. Let's talk about when citizens' arrests are not possible. If you deem that you are unable or rightfully unwilling to make a citizen's arrest, there are still steps that you can take to aid law enforcement. Noting their physical appearance and defining any unique characteristics, their license number, when and where the crime took place, and any other details of the crime are all beneficial to an investigation. Like I used to say as a special agent, you want to be a very good witness. If it's safe, video or voice record any interactions that can be used to provide valuable and often irrefutable evidence. Just because a citizen's arrest is not possible does not mean your cooperation and evidence is not of use. Always be sure to contact law enforcement as soon as possible. In your attempt to keep your community safe, be sure that you keep yourself safe as well. Alright folks, that's it for this particular video. If you're interested in becoming a PI or if you want to upgrade your PI skills, please take a look at my Private Investigation Career Course. It's 35 packed lessons that will teach you almost everything you need to know to be a good private investigator. Also with it, I give you a free vacation to one of 51 locations, and don't worry, you have up to 18 months to take it from the time I assign it to you. And I have a 4 payment plan available. I know it says 3 there, but a 4 payment plan available for you to take the course. Also, you might want to take a look at some of my other courses, like my How to Start a Process Server course, if you're interested in that as well. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you do. I put videos on almost on a daily basis. I'll see you in the next video.